How in the world is it possible that this year is almost done and our STAAR test is almost here? That is absolutely crazy. So if you're watching this video, that means that you have already graded your benchmark, and we already have an idea about those categories that we're really strong in and we're really weak in. So what I'm doing is I'm creating a video for each category. We're going to start out with category 1, and it's just brief, very small, short notes about the topics that those categories cover. Okay, category 1 is our shortest category. For most of us, we tend to do really well, but the issue with category 1 is that it's not tested super well, or that it's not tested a whole bunch. There are very few questions for category 1. So here's what's going to happen. In just a few seconds, the video is going to pause and it's going to pull up a fill in the blank. I'm going to give you the definition for these 5 words, and you're going to fill in the blank. You're going to type the word, this word, whatever, on your computer next to its definition, and then you're going to submit, and it's going to check it for you. I want you filling out your notes. I want to see you writing your definitions right here. Okay? So let's go ahead and pause that video. Let's pull those definitions up, and let's go ahead and do that now. Just in case we didn't already write it, rational are our fractions and our decimals that never end or repeat. Rational is our biggest category of numbers. One step down from rational is integers, and these are our negatives, but specifically they're negatives with no decimals. Decimals and fractions are not allowed in the integers category. And then we have our whole numbers, which are our counting numbers plus 0. So these are our whole numbers. And then we have our counting numbers, and that is just our basic numbers, 1, 2, 3, and so on. Then we have this set of numbers that's all out here, all by itself. It's completely separated from the rest of them. And those are our irrational numbers. Our irrational numbers are the decimals that don't end or repeat. And I made a huge mistake. On rational, it should say the fractions that end, not that never end. So this category all by itself are the irrational numbers, the decimals that never end and they never repeat. That's the first section of category 1. And category 1 only has 3 little topics in it. So our next section is scientific notation. And it looks like this. It's some number multiplied by 10 with some exponent. This A has to be a number bigger than 1 but less than 10. And all that tells me is I can only have one number before the decimal. So it could be like 7.3 times 10 to the third, 4.6 times 10 to the negative fourth. But only one number can go before that decimal place. Make sure that you're writing down these little extra notes. I'm going to have some extra questions pop up here in a little bit. So my huge numbers, like 1,200,000, are going to get positive exponents. And my teeny tiny decimal numbers are going to get negative exponents. We're going to have some questions pop up that actually ask you to turn these two numbers into scientific notation. So let's do that now. Make sure that you are writing down your answers on this paper. Notes are no good if we don't write anything on them. So 1,200,000 is going to be 1.2 times 10 to the positive 6. This one, my decimal is going to move right here. I should have counted my hops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hops. This one's also going to be 1.2 times 10. It's going to be a negative exponent. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hops. Negative 6 hops. Then we talk about ordering numbers. And these are questions like when it asks me, I want you to order 3/4, 25%, 0.7, and maybe the square root of 2 over 4. When we are ordering numbers, what is the very first thing that I have to do? It's going to pop up on the screen. Click the right answer. What is the very first thing I have to do when I order numbers? I hope that you said that the very first step is to turn all my numbers into decimals. So 0.75, 0.25, 0.7, and I'm definitely going to have to check out what the square root of 2 over 4 is, because I do not know that off the top of my head at all. The square root of 2 divided by 4 is 0.35. Now on the screen it's going to pop up and it's going to ask you, what is ascending order and what is descending order? Go ahead and click those answers and write it down on your paper. So ascending means least to greatest. So if I'm looking at this example problem down at the bottom, it would be 25%, then square root of 2 over 4, then 0.7, then 3/4. Descending is going down. It is our greatest to least, which is just the opposite order. 3/4, 0.7, square root of 2 over 4, and 25%. Our biggest mistake when it comes to testing is when they ask us the order, we don't understand what these words mean. Ascend, just like the A, goes up. Descend is going down on the side of the D. Okay, so here's what we're going to do now. We're going to stop the video, and I'm going to give you guys a packet, and it's going to be category 1. And the packet's going to seem a little bit long, but we're just going to start working on it now, but that's also going to give you practice that you can take home. So I'm going to throw in a quick few bonus questions real quick. Once the video is done and you've submitted your answers, then we'll get working on that packet.